You're listening to the voice 107.104.com.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Welcome back here to Rick's Place here on The Voice 17104. We're here today again with the good Pastor Chris Thomas.
Welcome back, sir.
In the studio talking to you about political events. Is in Washington, D.C. something? You gotta laugh at them because if you don't laugh at them, you go insane. You start doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They finally have a speaker in Washington, D.C., the House of Representatives. Michael Johnson. Now, if you know anything about this guy, he's horrible. Out of 217 people in the Republican caucus in Washington, D.C., the only person that they could come up with to be Speaker of the House after 3 weeks of rejecting 3 other people out of 217 is Mikey Boy. And he's horrible. Number one, he hasn't even been in Congress that long. What, 3 days? That's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my meaning. He hasn't been there that long. So what experience do he have? What bill has he ever passed? Has sponsored or whatever? Nothing. He's Speaker of the House because their cult leader, Donald Trump, interjected this. He didn't interject himself for his boy, Kevin McCarthy. He didn't interject himself for his boy, Jim Jordan. But he interjected himself there for little Mike. Why? Little Mike is against Medicare and Medicaid. Oh, we can get rid of them. He's against Social Security. He said we can get rid of that. An extremist. He's against LGBTQ. He's against that. We need to get rid of them people. That's what he said. That's what he said. Okay. Get rid of abortion, no matter what condition. Remember Doug Mastriano said that. No abortion, no matter who. The woman's life is in there, none. Let her die. Is that what you meant? Doug and Mikey Boy? And they give him the gavel. In Washington, D.C. Do you understand that the Speaker of the House sets the agenda? Just like the President of City Council, just like in the state legislature, the Speaker of the House sets the agenda. So now here we go. Mikey sets the agenda in Washington, D.C. This mega maniac. So what's that say about you and I? especially you and I. He ain't thinking about you or me or anybody look like us. And those that don't is in trouble too. They just don't know it. It's not about providing you with a better quality of life. You or anybody else. They have never been into that. Not the Maccas. It's power and control with them. Not making things better for you. They ain't there. None of them that they propose. Jim Jordan nor Kevin McCarthy. I don't know, but Kevin is just an idiot. But Jim Jordan has never, and they wanted to make him speaker, has never passed anything in Congress. Never proposed anything. All he has done since he's been in that Congress is scream, yell, and holler about Trump, his cult leader. What did Lauren Boebert ever pass? Nothing, but she'll holler and scream about Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene, what has she ever proposed with your quality of life? Nothing. I've seen this idiot on Fox TV crying about Donald Trump. What the he did Donald Trump for me? I said, what are you crying about? Buffoon? Because Trump is a cult leader. He never been a president. He held the office, and I'm sorry he ever did. But that's a cult movement. And when I seen just what happened yesterday in Washington, D.C., by them taking little Mikey and making it because Trump told him to. Because he felt it was making the Republican Party look bad. Well, you made the Republican Party look bad now. And they made themselves look bad following you. 207, they the majority in the House. And nobody you could find other than little Mikey, the two boots, just like Ron DeSantis marching to the beat of the drum of their Uncle Donald. That's sad, folks. And it's dangerous. He now has the gavel because even the moderate Republicans agreed to that. It's like the modern Republicans agreed to one person out of 217 people can challenge the speaker. And given enough votes, have the speaker removed. Now there's 20 of them. It's way too many for me. 21 is too many. Of them, the point is, there's 20 megalomaniacs in that conference. 8 of them are extremists. And they run in the whole conference. Mm-hmm. In this country, the majority rules. It's a democracy. How in the world did these moderates, who outnumber them, give them that much power? The news will say, oh, they're afraid to be challenged in the primary. Why? Well, because the Trump voters will get rid of us. The Trump voters. You mean to tell me all of the Republican Party thinks like Donald Trump? I don't believe that's the case. The wise man said, if you dare to struggle, you dare to win. You have to fight, moderates. You have to fight to save your party. I'm a Democrat. I vote with the Democrats. You got to blame that on us by you not having the speaker. We never voted for Kevin McCarthy. We voted for Hakeem Jeffries. Why would a Democrat congressman or congresswoman vote for a Republican speaker when you have the majority? No. You can blame that on us. We never voted for it the first time. Why would we vote for it the second time? It was your member, Matt Gaetz, that challenged the speakership. He knew the Democrats wasn't going to vote for Kevin McCarthy. They didn't the first time. So why would they the second time? He knew that. All he did was convince 7 other of them extremists. All 8 of them, including him, as part of the 8, voted with the Democrat. That was enough to give it. And then Kevin McCarthy turned around and came out and said, well, if the Democrats didn't vote with them, Matt Gaetz and them, he'd have still been speaker. Well, they didn't vote for you the first time, Kevin. And to come out and told that bald-faced lie. We didn't abandon you. We did not abandon you. We never supported you. But then you gonna come out of there and blame it on us. These Trump people. Lie after lie after lie. And that's meant to confuse you. They always mix lies with the truth to confuse you. You know who that is an art of? Satan. Read your Bible. You mix lies with the truth to confuse you all the time. That's why you have to do your research. You have to know who these people are. You have to know how dangerous they are. They're sitting in some of the highest offices. Come on, folks. Come on. Come on. Could they give little Mike the album and I watch what happens? Little Mikey, and guess one of the Republicans, he don't do what they tell him to do. He be out like Kevin. Because see, they still got that rule that one member can challenge the speaker's chair. And then they vacate it again. But that wouldn't surprise me because these maniacs, they're not interested in governing. They're not interested in having it speaking. They're not interested in any of that. So they'll play musical chairs, at least for the next, what is this, October? November, November, December, and all the next year, all this, which is a presidential year. So this is what they wanted to be in position to try to help good old Donald. that's, that's all they're interested in. All they're interested in is forsaking democracy. And I keep asking them, and nobody come up with an answer. Forsaking democracy and replacing it with what? Dictator Donald? This buffoon? Cult. They want to be led around by Donald. They're Grand Boobah. This man was on his way to jail. This was happening in Georgia. They rolling on him, all his cohorts, because they stopped drinking the Kool-Aid. Jen Ellis, Sidney Powell, even his main boy, his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, just made a deal with the feds. Said, look, I'll tell you anything you want to hear. I got to get full immunity though. They used to do that with mobsters all the time. Guys in the Costa Nostra, they say, look, I ain't going to jail for no 100 years. I ain't going to jail a day. What do you want to know? Remember the Valachi papers? He sat before Congress and gave them the whole structure. Because prior to that, they didn't know anything about the Costa Nostra. And they didn't care. Here's J. Edgar Hoover, the top crime fighter. FBI, man, J. Edgar Hoover was too interested in controlling politicians. He said, what the mafia, what is that? They didn't really know too much about it until all the mafias got caught by mistake by a curious state trooper up in upper New York. When they was at the mafia meeting, all of them running through the woods with, $800 suits on and they did Italian made shoes and so what are all these cards done? Well, it's the same thing here in Georgia with that mafioso. Oh yeah. They gangsters. Every last one of them, Giuliani and the rest. And the funny part about it, Giuliani was a United States prosecutor. And what I hate about him, they act like there was no other crime in the world but committed by Italians. And he's Italian. Oh, he went after them with a vigor. Oh, yeah. I used to say, what's wrong with you, man? Yes, they bad guys. Yes, but they ain't the only bad guys. What are you doing? Spread that wealth around. Spread that love around. They go get some. Excuse me. Go get some other criminals besides your people. They just stand up and they ain't mad people. But what are you doing now? Donald Trump ain't nowhere near your people. And you serve him like he's a god. He's not a god. But you did it. And now they got you on the hook. And you're Grand Booba, your cult leader. You're David Koresh. You're what's that fool in Guyana? Jim Jones. Is doing nothing for you. You ran all over this country lying and they stole the election and knowing the election was not stolen, your chief law enforcement officer, Bill Barr, told you that. The guy who Trump hired to monitor the election said this is one of the most safest elections in United States history. But you knew all that. Knew all that. And still, you kept the big lie going. And now they got the biggest supporter of the biggest lie, little Mikey. He now has the gavel and he's Speaker of the United States Congress. Are we going backwards there? 217 people. And the only person they could find to wield this gavel was little Mikey Johnson. Michael from Louisiana, of all places. The state, the slave state. It's one of the slave states, folks. Don't believe me, look at the history book. And they get this guy with no experience for real of running anything. They got him. Speaker of the House with his belief system. Well, folks, just stay prepared. Just stay prepared. Stay aware. Definitely stay prayed up. And keep a balance between these ill begotten, oh, there's not enough adjectives to describe this sort of dementedness, this sort of blind ambition. We just got to hold them in check as much as possible. They only have one objective: serving Donald Trump with everything they got. And I can't believe how one human being has had that much influence over that many people. He used to baffle me about David Koresh. He used to baffle me about Jim Jordan and any other cult leader. I'm saying, look at Charlie Manson. He's dead and gone. The group of people that thought this cat was Jesus Christ. Same way they thought with David Koresh. What is that? I know sociologists, psychologists, man, and psychiatrists. These are things that have them looking at and diagnosing and studying for years to come. And every time they think they got this figured out, here comes another one. Donald Trump. He's the latest. And they go on. And they looking at the people. I heard this guy speak 100 times. I'm still not convinced. You had people in there that losing their mind, doing all kinds of crazy shit. You just had the shooting there in Maine. Now, who shoots somebody in Maine? I'm saying Maine. And this guy running around with AR and going to various locations shooting people. Now, Maine is somewhere you go to retire. I mean, I forgot Maine was a state there for a while. Now, more people probably would go there to retire, but it's cold. So go to another nut state. Now, not to say the governor of Maine is out of it, no, but who pays attention to Maine? People come down to national elections or something, they vote. So I guess the governor of Maine's okay. But people go to Florida, I don't know if they go down there for the warmth. Not DeSantis, this idiot. But point is, it was a Trumper running around with an AR-15. That's something that Congress should look at and stop playing around with your buddies in the NRA, and getting all their money and everything else. People are dying. AR-15 is a weapon of war. What would a civilian need with AR-15? AR-15 is overkill in the city. In the countryside, you can't, unless you want to shred the deer, you can't hunt with it. So why is it for sale? Only group of people that should have had the AR-15 is soldiers and the military and the police. And the police should use it only in extreme circumstances. But that idea of the average Joe Blow citizen walking in, say, give me AR-15, and you give it to him because it's a rifle, and they don't have to go through the stringency of obtaining it as if it was a pistol. It's considered a rifle, and you can have many of them as you want. More people, and you wonder why you got all these mass shootings with AR-15. Well, this guy is just a nut. And I don't mean he's mentally ill. Every time one of these shootings happens, ooh, he's mentally ill. No, he's not. He's a murderer. Do you say all murderers are mentally ill? No, they're not. They just have the desire to kill somebody, so they kill them. Other people have the desire to kill a whole bunch of people, so they get an AR-15. Because they're blaming how rotten their lives are on other people. If your life is rotten, look in the mirror. If your life's out of control, look at the mirror. If your life has no hope or desires or to achieve, look in the mirror. Stop blaming other people. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. Or it shouldn't be you. Nobody told you that life is going to be a bowl of roses. Nobody ever told you that. This is difficult. I said earlier, if you dare to struggle, you dare to win. Well, I've dared to struggle. So I definitely dare to win. In fact, that's just my game. I enjoy that because, see, along the way in this pathway called life. You meet all kinds of interesting people. But the Lord brings them into your life for a reason. My grandfather used to say all the time, bought lesson is a taught lesson. And he was absolutely right. People come into your life for only two reasons. They're either there for a season, and the reason they kept you alive, you may decide to keep them in your life. But there's certain people you should never keep in your life. Never. And for whatever reason they're in there for, will reveal itself. It will reveal itself. Then it's up to you to discharge them. You don't keep anybody in your life that means your life no good. One reason or one level or another. For one reason or another. If you have detected that this person means you no good on any level, no matter what the smiling face says, get rid of them. Dismiss them out of your life. And you'll find out how quickly your life has become better. You don't have that draining on your spirit. This is what's happening around. See, it starts personal, and it moves up to neighborly, and it moves into the community, and it moves on up to the entire city, and that's the rippling effect. Affects everything around you. Be mindful of the people you put around you. It is for your own peace of mind, your own health, for your own well-being. It opens your mind when it's not clouded with foolishness. It's something else to think about, that's all. Full of giving you things to think about, because I believe you are a reasonable, intelligent person. Most people are. Curtis Mayfield said, check out your mind. It's been with you all the time. So think about little Mikey being in charge in Washington. Sad state of affairs. Researching. Thinking about, because he made all kinds of public comments. He's a Mecca. And know now, which is so unfortunate, that the megalomaniacs are now in control of the House of Representatives. He has the gavel. Why? Don't anticipate what may happen. Don't think about what could happen. Please watch what does happen. All right? Have a good day. Good being with you again. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. See you next week. All right, Pastor. Keep the people thinking, because it's